showtime! Woo! 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 Silent and profiling. Woo! It's live and it's coming. Woo!
Woo! And the Buffalo Bills finally get a win. It seems like forever ago that this team hasn't won a game. Feels like forever. I have no idea what happened to my co-host. He was here, and now he's gone. Hopefully he'll be back on soon. But what is up, Bills Mafia? The Buffalo Bills win 23-20. Lots to talk about in this game. Wish my co-host was here. I have no idea what happened to him. Let's see what happened to my co-host. Oh, my. Technology, folks. But anyways, Bills won 23-20. And, boy, I'm going to tell you something. The Jets really helped us out in this game. By a lot of their penalties. And by the way, penalties galore. Flag City in this game. Crazy amount of flags. Let me go to some of your comments real quick. Amy, I want to smack the shit out of Bass. Hell yeah. Bro, Bass was so bad. What happened, Mikey? There's Mikey. Mikey's back.
Connect.
Oh, we don't hear Mikey.
Oh,
there you are. There you are. Hey, what's up, brother? No, that's all right. What's going on, Mikey? So I'm trying to catch up with the chat because the chat is lit right now. Yeah, somebody, Amy coming in. I want to smack the shit out of Bass.
Well,
Bass
let's start with this.
Now, listen. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's start with this. There's no woo tonight.
There's a woo because we won, and
no,
I'll take the
woo.
W.
There's no woo.
Wow.
I'm happy we won. I changed my hat. However, we still have some massive concerns.
Oh, absolutely. But you got to woo the win. Mikey. You got listen. I always say this. Listen,
I'll give you one woo.
We keep it real here. You know that. Win or lose, we always tell the truth here. You know, if we win and we play bad, we're going to tell you, hey, we barely. And this game wasn't pretty at times. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, a win is a win and a loss is a loss, and that puts us at 4-2, a 2.5 game lead. If we lose that game, the Jets we're tied with the Jets, and they have the lead in the division by way of tie. So I'll take that all day. Do we have a lot of issues? Fuck yeah, we do. But I will say this too, Mikey. We went against a very good, sound defense tonight, and we look much better than the last 2 weeks. I would say this was the best defense we played all year. This is a top 5 defense. So you have to at least woo that because we did score 23 points. It wasn't, oh my God, but that's a tough defense. And you got to give the Bills credit for not having, by the way, they finally used Knox a little bit.
And then they got a pass interference, which erased it.
He did, but he got a touchdown.
He did
get a touchdown. And he saved that. He really saved that play because he was scrambling. And that's why I said, Mikey, by the way, you got to get Knox involved because Josh Allen really and him, they have good chemistry. So, like, the Matt Collins thing, by the way, he got a touchdown tonight. He's still, I'd rather him not be on the field as a receiver. I got to be honest with you. We need help at receiver desperately. Should I get to some of these questions because they're all coming in?
Yeah.
I feel bad.
So Amy said it's not a woo, it's a pew. Like,
okay.
I like
it. A few, like a okay. Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
I like that. Like, okay, we got the win.
I'm with you.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna start with the biggest issue that we have, and that's our head coach.
Oh, absolutely.
Year over year, he does not learn from his mistakes. If we score and it's inside 3 minutes, like, I'm surprised we won this game with 3 minutes and Aaron Rodgers having the ball. If it wasn't for Taron Johnson making some outrageous fucking play.
Let me tell you something. If he doesn't get back on that play, believe it or not, I think that guy
wide open.
I think Williams even on the ground, he catches it.
Yeah.
Rodgers, I'm gonna
he underthrew him.
I'm gonna say something real quick though on Rodgers though. I've been kind of knocking him a little bit, or like as of late, he hasn't had the greatest season, but he's still a dog, and he still has an unbelievable arm, and he still has a knack to finding his receivers at where. But there's 2 throws tonight that honestly wowed me from him. Obviously, the Hail Mary, which by the way, shame on Sean McDermott. We'll get into that, but that was he's really good at that.
Gregory guarding the sidelines, not even rushing. You're 2 defensive tackles rushing.
No, we're going to get into that. I'm just saying that was still great throw. He does it the best. And that throw that he made, I think in the fourth quarter towards the end of the game, where Bernard was on the guy, and it literally just went between Bernard's armpit. I think it was.
No, it was between his butt. And it skimmed his butt underneath his arm because he's bringing his arm down. And between his arm and his butt, right, and hit Lazard like in the chest or in the stomach.
And one more thing I want to say.
I have no idea how he made that throw.
I have no idea. And one more thing I got to say too. Lazard, the guy who like leads the league in drops,
didn't drop shit tonight.
Is the best receiver in football tonight. The guy made every catch, it seemed like. But man, go ahead, Mikey. What's your thoughts? Because I'm just thinking of a lot of stuff going on.
So we'll start with McDermott and his inability to close anything. Like, how the fuck do you only rush 2 and then you take your best pass rusher and say, guard the sidelines 8 yards deep? He thought they were going to throw an out. So you give up 3 rather than giving up 7. Right. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And then on top of that, outside of McDermott's incompetence, what the hell is our safeties doing? Have you never heard of batting the ball down?
I have no idea. And Tehran, too, I don't know what he was doing on that one play. That was a weird,
You had 3 guys standing 5 yards away, not rushing, just standing there.
Just standing there, all behind the receiver, too.
You had guys behind the receiver? But I'm saying along the line, you had 2 or 3 guys that could have rushed, and they just stood there.
And a lot of times on those kind of Hail Marys, coaches will put in, like, receivers to knock the ball down or whatever, like taller receivers. We have a gang. We're Matt Collins, tall shit, right? Like Keon Coleman,
a basketball player. Put him out there,
right? Like if you're I'll be honest with you, that whole drive took me back to that Chiefs game because they get the ball. We're playing so deep back, Mikey.
Yeah,
from the jump. I mean,
14 seconds. 14 seconds on the clock. And they scored a touchdown. 14 seconds and they scored a touchdown.
It's unacceptable, guys. This is what me and Mikey are talking about. This is what Jarek from Jant Sports has been talking about on his channel. We're not alone, right, Jarek? Right, Tommy.
You can't.
It is time and time and time again. Listen, McDermott cost this team so many games by his defense play calling, his
time management.
Time management is terrible. Timeouts calling. By the way, if you're going to call a dumb fucking timeout, McDermott, have a right call when you come back from the timeout. We never have the right call. We called a timeout on offense towards the end of that game. And what do? We get to the line super late. What? You couldn't get a play in on the timeout, and then we run a clunky play? Are you fucking kidding me? Then he calls a timeout on defense. It does the same 2-man rush.
Yeah, see, I want to go to Spence. Spence said that's more on execution. You're rushing 2 against the guy who has the best Hail Mary ever.
Right.
Rushing 2.
Right.
And they were guarding the sidelines. It wasn't even like they were playing for the Hail Mary. They were guarding the sideline.
Right.
What the fuck are we doing?
And he admitted that, by the way, coming out of the out of the first. He said he was scared they're going to sideline. Bro, it's you do McDermott. How long have you been coaching? You know Aaron Rodgers does this, right? He only had one play. Pretty much one play, Mikey. Mm-hmm. You know what he's going to do there. And you're only rushing 2. Bro,
and you're not and the 2 that you're rushing are your 2 defensive tackles.
Right. They're not going to get home.
So put 4 defensive ends out there and rush 2. That if you want to rush 2, rush your D ends.
Right.
What are we doing?
Jarek, you couldn't, Jan Sports Jarek, you couldn't tell your players to knock the ball down. Can't we ever get in front of the receiver? Bro, we do it all the time. We do it all the time. But by the way, though, yes, that's on the players, but that's also on coaching, execution. Just like the fact that we can't run a simple screen pass to the running back and we can't defend one. How long has Sean McDermott been coach here? Do you think by now, Mikey, he would go to any of his offensive coordinators and his offensive line coach? Guys, we're in year 8. We still haven't executed a proper screen pass here. Like,
we can't stop one either.
That some? Like, I mean,
we can't stop a screen pass either.
No, that's what I'm saying. We can't stop one and we can't execute.
We can't run one.
We can't run one. We can't stop one. It's the same story.
Triggs is right. You know, McDermott's lucky he has Josh Allen because he wouldn't be here if he didn't.
Absolutely.
Josh Allen saves his ass over and over and over.
Absolutely. I do want to get into some good, and we're going to continue with the chat.
Yeah. I just wanted to be, you know, honest on here. I don't want to come in and say, "Oh, they missed 2 easy field goals."
No, listen, we're always honest. And by the way, I'll say this though. It was windy on that end of the field. They were talking about that even before the game. However, their kicker at least came close. Our kicker was way off. Not even close. And I don't give a fuck. You got to make those kicks. That's what you're paid to do. I don't care. And Bass, I have zero trust in. And so let's get to some good. Okay. I want to say this real quick. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. All right. No, I want to get to some of the chat too, because man, they're going like crazy.
Yeah. So let's get to some good. Joe Brady's game plan tonight.
Yes.
Was fantastic. Ray Davis was a monster.
Oh, dude. Ray Davis.
If it wasn't for Dawkins and Brown constantly putting us, you know, 1st and 15 in the second half, selfish play by both of them all fucking night.
All night. They got, you know what it is? They let the Jets get in their head, bro.
All fucking night.
And it cost
Ray Davis had 85 yards in the first half, and you know it had, 12 in the second half.
Yeah,
because they, kept getting behind the stick, so Josh had to throw. Josh still only threw 25 times. You know, the penalties. And listen, there were some dumbass penalties. The AJ Epinesa roughing the passer one.
That was outrageous.
That was outrageous. That was not.
He was trying to
strip him.
Yeah, he didn't land on him like hard. He rolled off, a matter of fact. But I'll say this though, there was a lot of bad calls, and bad calls both ways. Both ways. Yeah. So I'm not going to sit here and do the crying game. No. Like how we got hosed.
I just didn't want to shit on AJ for his personal foul penalty.
That's fine. Like the Matt Collins one we got, that was terrible. I would have been mad if I'm a Jets fan.
Start. Too many false starts.
Yeah. That was way over his head, by the way, on the Matt Collins throw.
Benford and Douglas being physical tonight and getting PIs, I'm okay with that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Be physical. I will say go out and do your thing.
Yeah, Benford was getting there. We have the only problem I see with our DBs, the only problem it's kind of been a problem is speed. They're both not the greatest, or like they have trouble keeping up with fast receivers, and sometimes they do get hosed because of that. Like the Jets receivers were getting great separation tonight. They did drop a couple too. I don't know what is going on with Mike Williams over there. He is just a shell of himself. He does not look good at all.
Coming back off of that knee injury, he just doesn't. Yeah, or it was Achilles last year. Whatever he's coming back off of, he does not look like himself at all.
No, he does. And I think he got hurt again tonight. He was in the medical tent at the end, so not good. By the way, too, real quick, that fumble at the end by Rodgers was really close. I gotta say. I mean, I get where the refs are going, I guess, but. Even John Perry wanted McDermott.
Did you hear? Were you listening to Aikman and them talk? The guy who took John Perry's spot after John Perry's like, no, that should have been. Went back and had to like correct himself of why John Perry was saying that. Like John Perry made that guy have to like check his credentials.
Oh, absolutely. I still think
crazy.
I think it was a fumble. I don't give a shit.
It is a fumble. It was absolutely a fumble.
Yeah, so it is what it is. Like I said, calls went both ways tonight.
Yeah.
But I thought the refs were terrible. But I'm going to tell you this real quick too before we move on. Last week the Jets played and they had penalties galore in their game too, like a shit ton. So I don't know if it's when the Jets played, they just have games where penalties are being thrown all over.
I think it's because of how they play.
It's very possible.
And the chippiness that they bring on defense, that it just becomes that way. And the refs are throwing penalties to try to get, it under control. Like you saw, there was a fight between quarters. Imagine if they weren't throwing those penalty flags and they were letting it go, what it would have looked like.
Yeah. Dawkins has to be better than that, guys. Listen, he is our captain of that offensive line, pretty much, right? He's been here the longest.
Yep.
Dude, control yourself, bro. This is a team game, bro. Like
you can hate them, but
yeah, but you can't be stupid. Like, come on, man. A 15-yard penalty when we're going to the next quarter.
We just got out of 1st and 15 or 1st and 20 because of back-to-back penalties. Josh got it to 3rd and 9, where it's manageable, and then you get a 15-yard penalty during a dead ball. Like, come on.
And that just totally ruined everything. Right. Because we just hit Shakir to make it at least, okay, we could probably pick up 9. By the way, rap tonight. Yes, I agree, Triggs. Finally. Friendly fire for once. Right? No friendly fire.
He was hitting too tonight.
Bro, and he was legal hits, by the way, too. Nothing high. Clean, and boy, he was flying. Like, that's what we love about rap. Just don't do it on our players, right?
Enemy fire tonight. That's right, Mark. It's enemy fire tonight.
Enemy fire tonight.
Can we talk about how hard the running backs for the Pads were popping? Listen, it was one of the most physical games I've seen the Bills play. They came out on offense ready to be physical. Now,
absolutely.
The Jets were doing the same thing. Like Breece Hall had 18 carries, 113 yards. They were running all over us.
Yeah.
But Ray Davis.
No, Ray Davis is a dog tonight.
Ray Davis should be used like
more.
Montgomery is used in Detroit.
Absolutely.
We should use Cook and Davis the way they use Gibbs and Montgomery.
Thank you. And you know what? Didn't we say this to start the season? Didn't we say, and we kind of even saw this happening? Remember, we said it may not happen right away.
It's going to be about 5 weeks.
But Ray Davis will start to cut into James Cook's carries. Now, mind you, James Cook wasn't available. However, if McDermott is smart after seeing what Ray Davis is capable of doing, he will start giving Ray Davis more carries and have a two-headed monster here. Because I've been telling you guys about James Cook. I feel like he's a good running back, but he's missing some things. And I think Ray Davis is a way better pass protecting running back, and he runs between the tackles way better.
And he has better hands.
And he has better hands. You saw that, bro. To that
granted, he didn't have to jump for that. he made it harder on himself when he jumped.
I don't know what he was. Yeah.
Listen, you caught the ball. That's all I fucking care about.
Absolutely.
You caught it.
Play. Yeah. Even who came up to at the end of the game, I'm like, okay, Keon Coleman. Actually came up with some big plays when he was quiet for 3 quarters. And he came up with some big catch. No, but I'm happy that he came up with some big plays because
big first downs.
Big first downs. Yeah, dude. So there is some things that, like I said, that we can come out of this game liking, right? Like Ray Davis, Taylor Rapp, Teron Johnson. Thank you. And by the way, there was some rust there for sure. So wait till next week when Teron's even better.
He got better as the game went. You could see it. The Bills settled in right around the second quarter. We gave up 10 points after the first quarter.
Yeah. I thought AJ earned the check tonight.
Yeah, and the 7 points was the Hail Mary. So really we gave up 3 points. I mean, they missed 2 field goals, so you can chalk that up.
Should have never gave the Hail Mary up though.
No.
You go up by 10. That game, maybe we don't even come down to crunch time.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we come out, we drive down the field, and we miss the field goal.
Right. It's just like, story of the Bills, man.
Story of the Bills. I love what Keon. So let's continue with the offense.
Yeah.
The offensive line, outside of the penalties of our 2 tackles, our interior played their ass off tonight.
Yeah. Absolutely, they did.
Josh Allen. Yep, and Josh Allen was efficient. He was 19 for 25, 215, 2 touchdowns. a 127 rating. And then he had also carried the ball 9 times for 18 yards, including this, a touchdown and the game sealer first down, which was a fantastic call by Brady.
Yeah, it was. And I didn't see that coming. I didn't think they were going to do that. I thought they were going to pass it, actually.
Oh, I thought they were going to just going to hand it off and then kick it.
I thought they were going to do
a play action.
But it was a smart.
And he faked like he was going to go right and then countered back.
Yeah.
Left. It was a fantastic call.
It was a fantastic call. And listen, and another thing, too, for all the Josh Allen haters, like Josh Allen responded very well after a very poor performance against the Texans. He talk about a bounce back game that probably a lot of people are like against an elite defense, a very good defense. And he played exceptionally well.
Our top 5
no turnovers, by the way. He almost had one.
Yeah.
The ball, but luckily we got Osiris Torrance, right place, right time.
Right. Right.
Save that there, boy.
Saibo.
Yeah,
the Jets are a top 5 pass defense and probably around 13th in rush defense. So it's not like it's a horrible defense. It's probably the best pass defense we've seen, and Josh was just efficient. Like, this is the best I've seen the Josh look against the Jets in his career.
Oh, in his career. There's no question about it. Samuel, I thought played good.
Brandon McManus, he's a free agent. If McManus is really a free agent, I'd call him tonight.
Absolutely. Curtis Samuel's best game tonight, too. Just a heads up.
I thought they used Samuel good in the first half, disappeared in the second half.
He did.
Shakir was still injured, and you could tell he was injured.
But you could tell.
But he made 2 clutch first down catches.
He did.
Loved what they were doing with Kincaid. I'd still like to see him use Kincaid down the field a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But Kincaid had some great run after the catches and got really physical today.
He did.
Love that Hollins only had two targets. I wish one of them wasn't in the end zone.
Let me bring up the stats.
Both Hollins targets were in the end zone. I wish it was.
Can you see that? You can see that.
I see Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, okay, let me go to the Bills stats. Yeah. So here's the Bills stats. So Josh Allen, as Mikey was saying, really good night. 19 for 25, 215, 8.6 average, 2 touchdowns, 127.9 rating. Rushing, Ray Davis, 20 carries, 97 yards, almost 5 yards a carry, long of 15. Even Ty Johnson, I thought, played well tonight. He did when he was given his opportunity. 4 carries, 34 yards, 8.5. I thought he ran well. Josh Allen, 9 carries, 18 yards. The most important one at the end. Ray Davis receiving 3 receptions, 55 yards. It was basically off that one big, the big pass from Josh Allen. Dalton Kincaid, 6 receptions, 51 yards. Curtis Samuel, 3 for 44. Keon, 3 for 26. But here's the problem, and Khalil, 2 for 19. When your leading receiver is Ray Davis, and no offense, it's good. I like that we're getting our running back involved. We need help. We need a receiver. We need help. Like, this is not. Mikey's correct.
Sustainable.
Saying, you can't. Yeah, that's not going to win us many games like that. I hate to say it. It's not like this was a great game, like a good game. We won the game. I'm happy with the win, but
there's still glaring holes.
Yeah, there's, and it's a really offense. Like our defense, I thought, once again, it has its issues at times, and that's a lot on McDermott's scheme. But at the end of the day, I feel like once again they did just enough for our offense to win a game. 20 points is not a lot. Like, that's not crazy amount of points. Like, you should be able to win a game. But our offense has to do better, and I don't think it can with that group, guys. Like,
it can. And it could have been better tonight if we didn't keep putting ourselves first and 15.
But not, I just don't. With that group of guys, you see the receivers,
we're not
you see the numbers.
We're not going to beat the elite teams,
right? But
that group.
That's what I'm saying. You need to. I don't care. Like I said it pregame, Mikey. I don't care if we come out with a win. I still feel like we need to give Josh more help, and
we do.
He deserves it. Okay, like I said, tonight was better. I give credit to Joe Brady for scheming up a game plan that worked well with what we have on the field, considering Khalil Shakir is not 100%, and the rest of the team's not really stepping up as far as the receivers go. Right? I don't even think Curtis Samuel's 100% either. And I just feel like we need the help. And I hope Dean does it, man. I really do.
Spen, I'm with you. I felt like if we didn't have the penalties, our offense would have looked better in the second half. However, I'm still having an issue at our wide receiver core.
Absolutely.
Where we either get Keon more involved and start scheming more to him, or go get someone to help, because I don't trust Matt Collins.
No, God, no, you can't.
He caught one of them, but the other one, if he flattens it, he runs away from the receiver.
Absolutely.
And then he couldn't make the catch. Yeah, and that would have sealed the game for us.
Absolutely. He's an okay receiver. He's a fifth receiver.
He's a wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5 with special teams capabilities. It's when we signed him, I was excited. He's a better version of Trent Sherfield.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
But we're using him like a wide receiver 1 or 2, and that's not what he should be used as.
No, that's what I'm saying. You got to. They have to go out and get help, and it's you have to make a trade. Like, you have to bring in somebody out. If you really feel this team could take it somewhere with the addition, then I'd say you do a trade.
That's funny that I agree with Vada. Comes in and says not his fault, but Josh might not even crack 3,000 passing yards this season.
Yeah, I saw that. That may be true, and we may not even have 1,000-yard receiver. How about that?
Right.
Like, that's how, and it's probably going. I don't think we will. How about that? Like, the way it's going, we're not going to have 1,000-yard receiver.
Fuck no.
I thought it was going to be Shakir, but I don't think Shakir is going to be right for a little
weeks.
While. But
weeks.
Exactly. I think he'll
get a little bit better every week.
Exactly.
It's before. I don't know if he'll be 100% the rest of the year.
Correct. It's a high ankle sprain, guys. You guys don't know how that goes. And I think he was just out there tonight because it was an important game. We needed him. And also, too, it makes the Jets defenders have to play honest with him, right?
Yeah, and it changed our offense with him back out there.
It did, because the Jets defense has to respect what Khalil Shakir can do.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps out other receivers, but it's just not it's not sustainable, this offense, this receiving group.
Steve comes in and says Rodgers post-game defended the roughing call on AJ. He said it was just ridiculous. He couldn't believe that they called it either.
Oh, good for him.
Man, Aaron Rodgers is one of those dudes who is really brutally honest about it too. Like, unapologetically brutally honest about how he feels about shit.
Good for you, Aaron Rodgers. I'm not even an Aaron Rodgers fan, but hey, okay. I think I got a little bit more on there. Okay, I'll like you a little bit more.
I'm still not a fan.
I'm still not a fan, but I'll kind of
I'll respect his honesty. I'll respect his honesty.
By the way, real quick before we move on, we got 1,700 people in here watching. 1,700. That's probably the most we ever had. I think we had 1,500 once. Do me a favor, guys, because a lot of you guys are on Twitter watching right now, or on X. We have go to YouTube whenever you guys can, Mafia Sports Report, and subscribe, hit the notification bell, because we go live almost daily and we have videos out daily. So it really helps the channel grow.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you all for joining us on this late night victory Monday. Go ahead, Mike.
I want to hit you real quick. We have a super chat. Hey, guys, happy we won, but the officiating was unbearable in the second half on both sides of the ball. I also thought Epinesa looked good tonight. I thought Epinesa was our best pass rusher.
Thank you.
Crazy? Yeah, thank you, Tim, for the super chat. The crazy part is I thought Groot was really good tonight, and he doesn't show up in the stats anywhere.
I thought he was really good. I thought he
had 1 tackle for loss, 3 tackles.
His run defense was good. I thought he was around the ball. Put it this way. I thought he was around the ball a lot, though his stat sheet wasn't filled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean he didn't do anything, or he wasn't making plays out there or helping out. You know, he was around the ball a lot. Daquan Jones got his first sack.
Yep.
That was nice to see.
Yep.
But overall, yeah, go ahead.
I want to hit on one more. Cato comes in and says, you see the ending result with the way Davis ended his time here and how he looks with the Jags. You know, at what point are we going to learn our lessons and draft more than one fucking receiver?
Exactly. Yeah, I get you.
And we're just grabbing one guys off the heap, 1-year guys. At what point is Josh going to be able to really settle down and get a comfort with his receivers? We need to draft more than one. That's a failure, epic failure on Bean's part. I love Bean, and I think he drafts well. That's a failure on Bean's part. The lack of weapons that Josh has is sad.
Yeah. That goes back to having a defensive-minded head coach as well,
Mm-hmm.
who wants to pile up on defense constantly through the draft and through free agency for the most part, and play it cheap in free agency, mostly on offense. We normally play it cheap,
and then
like,
plays it conservative defensively. You spend all that fucking capital and you play it conservative.
Absolutely. Like I don't even remember when's the last top dollar offensive free agent we ever signed. Like
Shady? We traded for him.
No, we traded for Shady. I'm talking about under
Mitch Morris.
Okay, sure. Okay, we can count Mitch Morris. He was our last.
Mitch Morris was our last.
He was our
free agent,
by the way. Yes.
I think we paid Sanders, Emmanuel Sanders. I think we paid him like 9 to 10 million.
It's a 1 year. I'm talking about
a 1 year deal, but a multiple year.
I'm talking about somebody.
I think it was Mitch Morris was our last big time.
See, that's you can't.
And
see,
free
that's
agency.
what I'm talking about. You've been here. You've been the GM basically 8 seasons. You've gotten no help, on free agency for Josh Allen. No big. I mean, the only big trade I would say Stephon Diggs was good. I'll give him credit for that. We needed that at the time. But through the draft offensively, you're right. Like they've really ignored the offensive side of things. And you're right. You got to draft more than one receiver. You have to. There's so many good receivers coming out of these drafts, but you need to draft more than one. 100%, Mikey.
Yeah. And there's receivers out there to be had right now. Go out and get one.
Absolutely.
Go out and get one. Stop being so fucking cheap.
Stop being, and not only that, stop, it's like they all live on like, they want to play it safe all the time. They live on safe lane, they just want to play everything safe. They don't want to go outside their comfort zone. Mm-hmm. Bean has to eventually stop doing that. Like listen, the Bills have never won a Super Bowl, Mikey, never won a Super Bowl. I'm not saying go all in, but goddamn, dude, like stop thinking
Jim
about
Kelly had an offense full of Hall of Famers.
Right. But my thing is like we're looking for the future. Bro, the time is now. Like the time is fucking now. Stop. I'm not worried about 3 years from now. Like I want now. Like we are. Josh Allen is only going to be in his prime for so long. Like stop fucking around and start getting some names in here. Start drafting some help for Josh Allen. If you have to make a trade that you're uncomfortable with because you're losing some draft capital and you have to move around some contracts here and there to make it work, okay. It's okay to do it here and there. I'm not saying blow up, go way over the cap, but my God, like you have to eventually, Mikey, go outside your comfort zone and do something that better.
I get it. I just don't think
I know what you're saying. And
I want to hit Amy's question. Amy's comment here. It says, we gave Mahomes Worthy and he hit and played immediately. I don't think Worthy's any better than Coleman.
No, look at the stats, Amy. They're very similar.
And Worthy is paired with Andy Reid.
Yeah, and he's still not.
And, he has better running stats, but from a receiver standpoint, like they're using him out of the backfield. Like that's really smart.
Yeah, I'd have to look at their stats, but I think they're very similar.
And I'm not trying to discount his running. It's not a Bills fan trying to discount, the running stats. Him being in the backfield, I think he has 2 touchdowns running and he has some yards. But I don't think if you bring Worthy to this team, you trade out Worthy for Coleman, Worthy's not making a difference on here.
Yeah, no, because we're not gonna use them like Andy Reid will, because we don't have that offensive minded.
And I don't think Coleman has been bad.
No, I don't think so either. So, just so you know, so we can just kind of compare. So receiving, Xavier Worthy has 179 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's receiving. We're not going to talk about running because that's not really fair to do. So 179.
We can't ignore it. We use it for Josh all the time as the difference maker. We can't ignore it for.
Right.
I'm just saying.
I got you.
It's a piece of his game that's used that makes him
sure.
But if you bring him to this team, we're not using him that way. We're using him like we use MBS. Someone said it in there. Worthy would be like MBS.
No, I know. I'm just going by receiving. I'm not going about running right now. Receiving right now, these are by current. Keon Coleman, 175, 2 touchdowns. I mean, like they're identical.
And what does Worthy have?
179, 2 touchdowns.
And then he has the extra running because he's with Andy Reid.
Yeah, the extra running. Yeah, I didn't go with the running. I just went receiving.
Yeah.
So
and then that's fine. I'm just saying, if you add the running in, he looks like he might be better, but he's also in a different offense.
Yeah, I get that part. I'm with you there. But
it's okay if you don't think Coleman will be a stud.
Yeah, and
you can have your opinion on him. There was people who didn't think Josh Allen would be a stud.
That's true. That is
Give
true.
him time. See what he turns out to be.
No, you're right. You're
right. Yeah,
Weston,
Bass. Oh, God, Bass is bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's time. Like, listen, we're going to be stuck with him, but we can let him go and go sign another fucking kicker.
So you want to know worthy yards, by the way? They're not that impressive. 42 yards.
And how many touchdowns? And 2 touchdowns?
2, yeah, but
so he has 4 touchdowns total?
Yeah, but okay. I mean, the yards aren't like unbelievable.
No,
so I mean, he's a more touchdowns. So right, just 2 more times. Listen, I'm not. That trade is not. If he was lightning, let's say hypothetically, that was Brian Thomas Jr. or Leggett.
Brian Thomas Jr. is not lighting it up either.
No, but I'm just saying, if we skip Brian Thomas over, I think Brian Thomas is probably overall better than Keon Coleman. I think, but I'm just saying, I'm good with that. Like I'm not. Worthy isn't tearing it up. Keon Coleman's gonna,
and the guys behind him aren't tearing it up either. The A.D. Mitchells, the Lad McConkeys,
right?
You know, those guys aren't tearing it up either. So just give them time.
Exactly. Listen, I said it from the beginning. I think Bills Mafia needs to really. I know it sucks being patient, and you know what it is right now. It's because our offense receivers kind of stink right now. Let's be honest. So Keon Coleman's going to get Keon Coleman's going to get a lot of the hate right now because of the receivers stink, and he's the fresh guy in the room. But I'm going to tell you right now, if we had a better receiving crew, I don't think a lot of people will be so hard on Keon Coleman right now. However, I'm going to tell you this: I think 2 years from now, I'm going to say 2 or 3 seasons, we'll look back. I think we will think that Keon Coleman was a good draft pick. Like
I think he will think he's a good draft pick by the end of the year. I think just give him to the end of the year, he'll be doing better.
I think you'll see his full potential in 2 seasons, 3 seasons be used like where he's like it's slow. The game has slowed down. He's learned a little bit more. Like I think all that will come.
Our friend Weston over from the from Chiefs Kingdom came in and said, "Listen, coming from a Chiefs fan, Worthy trade is highly overblown. Yeah. It's a trade that Coleman's good and Worthy's good. And let's just call it a day. Listen, it's really what it is the Bills are always going to be linked to the Patrick Mahomes deal. That the Bills are the reason why the Chiefs got Patrick Mahomes.
Absolutely.
And that's where and everything that we got for him is no longer here.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes is building a dynasty. And that's where the biggest issue comes from.
Yeah. I agree.
That was a defensive head coach who didn't want to draft a quarterback in his first year and wanted to get foundation on defense. Versus an offensive head coach who's a friend of his who wanted to move up to get his future quarterback. And he said, okay.
Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you. You can have the guy that's no longer on your team.
I thought Mahomes would be good. I didn't think he'd be what he is.
I didn't either. But his first year starting, I was impressed right away.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, I was impressed right away. So, and then also too, though, he landed in the perfect place. Like, just throwing that out there. He landed with a coach that was willing to, like, accept him for him. One, like, because Mahomes is different, right? Because not a lot of coaches might go for that. What Mahomes does, no look pass, all that, stuff that he does. And I think Andy Reid welcomed that. He made it more fun for him.
He built it into his offense. He built the offense around his skill set.
About his skill set, exactly. And I don't know if a lot of head coaches, guys, would have done that or would have been cool with that.
Yep. He also had a future Hall of Famer and Tyreek Hill and a future Hall of Famer and Travis Kelce walking through the door. Having those things are great.
Right. Sat him the first year.
Yep.
So he got didn't have to go through all that the first year. Can sit and learn. Absolutely, man.
Snag both. MVS wouldn't be dropping when he needs. We got to disregard this.
MVS is terrible.
Yeah, listen, MVS is MVS. Did he even have a target tonight?
He was out there, I saw, but
he had 0 targets.
Yeah. Dukes, hey Tommy, Bean needs to deliver Adams or Johnson. Or need to get the fuck
I don't want Deontay Johnson. I want no part of Deontay Johnson. People love him, but do you guys remember how bad he dropped the ball in freaking Pittsburgh?
No, for me, I listen.
I want no part of him.
My eyes right now are on a couple people. Obviously, Adams is the main target. I just don't know how they could pull that off, but we'll see. Cooper, I would welcome. No problem. Obviously, the guy we tried to once get over in Houston, or not Houston, Tennessee, right? DeAndre Hopkins. Absolutely. Yep. Come on to Buffalo. He's sure-handed as you.
They're talking about Ridley being on the market.
Even Ridley, who's a solid receiver. Like, there's going to be guys out there available.
You know who I would really love for the Bills to go get? Christian Kirk.
He's solid too. Absolutely.
And he has that relationship with Josh already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If we were going to go get a guy, that's the guy I'd want to go get.
Yeah. Either way.
But he's better than he is. You are not lying.
I just want a guy.
Deontay Johnson is better. Hollins and Kirk making like $18 million.
I don't know.
I'd have to look at his contract to see how that plays out.
I don't care. Listen, Mikey, at the end of the day, though, I don't really care who it is as long as the guy is better than what we have. I'll be dead honest with you. As long as he's
give me a veteran guy who's better than what we have.
Give me a guy. That's right. That can actually go out there.
Because Curtis Samuels isn't a wide receiver too. You know what I mean? Like Shakir is a slot receiver.
Right.
And Coleman is a rookie.
Right.
We need somebody else out there.
You have to.
It doesn't have to be a number one. It really doesn't. It just has to be better than what we have.
No, I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. It does. I'm not saying guys.
Darius Slayton would be a good guy to have.
Yeah, he's really good. I'm not saying go out there and you have to get whoever it is has to be elite. Yeah. Like, no, what we need here is a guy that can be reliable, a playmaker, a guy that can, get separation, a guy that Josh Allen can trust. Like right now, we don't really have that. That is the problem. Like you see when things break down now, Mikey, there is just Allen is just looking and looking. Yeah. And like when Matt Collins is out, that's bad. Right? I mean, like there's just not a lot of, think about it. The one play today where he was scrambling around, it wasn't a receiver. It was fucking Ray Davis.
Yeah.
I'm just who
made the catch.
Who made the catch, right? So, like, that's what I'm talking about.
We need Adams would be the Von Miller version 2 trade.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think Adams is legit. Thing is one they want a lot, and they would have to eat his contract for us to get him, and I just don't see that happening.
I still think they're talking to him though, Mikey. I do. I think a lot of teams are. I'll be honest with you, but here's the problem, and we all know the problem. I think the Raiders want that second round, which is fine, but at the same time, I think teams are going, "Hey, you're going to have to eat something of that contract,"
and they're saying no.
So that is the holdup right now. But I think eventually, though, I wonder if Adams kind of makes it where they will have to say yes. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We'll find out, though. Who knows? If that happens, then obviously more draft capital will be involved. But it's fine. But I honestly, I think it's right now. It's just the Raiders being stubborn on eating some of the contract.
I'm saying in Vegas, no one's giving up a 2 for him. Yeah.
Oh no, somebody will give up a 2 for him. But they got to eat some of the contract.
And they're saying they won't.
That's what I'm saying. Like even for more draft capital, like I would do a 2 and a 5 if I got Adams back, and a 6 if they eat some of the contract. Absolutely, I do it all day. You guys may not like that, but we need it.
Their owner doesn't have the money like that, and he's not eating.
No, I get it. I don't think it's gonna. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm just saying, that's what I would offer up, and I think that would be a fair offer because they're getting draft capital. But I don't think. And remember, the 2 for us at least is from fucking Minnesota. Like, it's not that big of a deal, guys. It's really not. What have we been drafting? I mean, honestly, giving up some draft picks is not the end of the world. Like for us right now, we need somebody that can come in and contribute right now.
Yep. So let's get off the receiver and go to safety. Hamlin.
Let's do it.
Hamlin's a problem, dude.
He's a big problem. What do you do? You got Edwards.
He started early, and did well. the last 3 weeks, he's been out of position constantly and giving up big plays because he's out of position. He keeps taking the inside rather than the outside, and it's costing him.
I agree. He's not a starting safety in the NFL.
It's time to put Bishop back there and just let him work through his rookie.
I agree.
Hiccups.
I thought Edwards was possibly, but apparently not. Like
Edwards can't even get a jersey.
He's get a jersey.
Puna Ford.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So he's. I don't know what the deal is there, but okay, fine. If it's Edwards,
I would prefer Cam Lewis as safety over Hamlin
as of right now. Yeah. Hamlin, listen, great story. Love the dude. I always root for the guy, no matter where he winds up. If he leaves Buffalo, whatever. But he is not a starting safety in the NFL, at least from what I see. He's a great depth guy. Good to have you on your team.
Good special teamer.
Guy. Yeah, but he is not a starting safety. Yeah,
he gets exposed when he's out there week after week. Started off really good, and then he's been exposed the last 3 weeks.
I'm with you. I think
where's Mike Edwards? There. On the bench without a jersey.
On the bench.
He's our day inactive.
You made a great comment. He's our new Puna Ford.
He's our new Puna Ford. A guy that should be getting a jersey that could help us, that doesn't,
healthy scratch. See, get on the bench.
I don't understand McDermott, man. It goes back to our head coach.
Yeah,
I just don't get it. I'm with you, Dukes. Put Bishop in there. Listen, he gave up a touchdown last week, and then he learned from his mistake. Like, guy.
By the way, I called it to start the game and pregame. I said, watch, because remember Frank Gore got called up. I said, I guarantee you this is how the starting running back room, the depth's going to look for this game. It's going to be Ty Johnson to start, which it was, right? It's going to be, and then it's going to be Ray Davis, and Frank Gore won't even see the field.
I wish he would have got an A carry.
A carry, right? Something. But I understand. But I also said, look, I know McDermott's looking at it like it's in a very important game as a rookie. He could make a rookie mistake, and in a very important game, a fumble. I kind of understand that a little bit. Right. And especially how Ray Davis winded up running the ball. And I will say this, credit to McDermott for at least sticking with Ray Davis and not going back to Ty Johnson.
I thought the way they used him was fantastic. Johnson came in, had 4 carries, 34 yards. His line was 13. He was a great change of pace.
No,
but Ray Davis got the hot hand early, and
they
fed him. And I love that.
Him, that's what I'm saying. That I'm glad they didn't just continue splitting carries or
when he got a -1 yard, they didn't take him out and put in the other guy, and they just kept going back to him.
Exactly, dude. He was making some unbelievable cuts as well. Like
the offensive line would give him a small crack and he would find it.
Yeah, or he was caught up in the backfield, and he would at least get 3 yards out of it instead of -2, -3. And he's a bulldozer. That dude was trucking people at times, bro. Love what I saw from Ray Davis.
He was always, remember we said Derrick Henry is always going forward. Ray Davis today was always going forward. When he got hit, he didn't go backwards. He always fell forward. And that's what you need.
No fumbles, by the way. Remember early on in off season?
Yep. He put the ball on the ground twice. Yeah, he had 20 carries.
Yeah.
He had 23 touches today and 0 fumbles.
So let me ask you, if you're in the locker room right now, you're the coach. Game ball goes to
Ray Davis.
Okay.
On offense. Tron Johnson on defense.
Okay. I'm going Ray Davis as well. Defense, you know what, man? I love Teron, but I'm going Taylor Rapp. Because
they usually give out 4. I'm good with
4. Okay, so
they usually give out 3 to 4 balls.
So let's give Josh Allen, Ray Davis, right? Are we good with that? Okay, and then we're going
Taylor
with
Rapp and Rapp,
right? Yeah.
Even though Epinesa has 2 sacks,
dude. Yeah, and 1 they took away. Did they take the 1 away? Right?
No, they didn't take it away.
Or they keep it. Oh, he just
got the penalty after the fact.
Hey, he earned. Remember, I was complaining about him.
He showed up today.
He did. I was saying one of the guys that are underperforming for the contract, and today he made Tommy eat a little crow. Which thank you. I am happy to eat crow anytime when I'm wrong about a player. I have no problem, especially a Bills player. I have no problem with it. McDermott, I don't think I'll ever eat crow, ever. I hope I'm wrong.
Me too. I hope you're wrong too. You know, but yeah, those are the 4 guys I would give it to.
Absolutely.
If you're not trading for a wide receiver,
hey, can you put in the chat, Mikey? Oh no, I would have to do it. Go ahead, keep talking. I'm going to do that real quick while you're talking.
Mike Edwards sipping pina coladas on the bench. Yeah, he is. Davis looks like Shakira bouncing off of tackles. He does look a lot like Shakira bouncing off of tackles. Dawkins and Brown messed up. Davis having a career day. They really did, man. Those 2 guys just couldn't get out of their own way. Matter of fact, did you notice that they benched both of those guys at the end?
Yes.
And then they sent them to the locker room early so they couldn't get into fights. Bill's security took him to the locker room.
Crazy, right? I think they did that on purpose because remember he got in a fight with the same guy last year.
Yes, we got in a fight with Clemens last year. This year we got in a fight with Williams. But our final was Vandermark, Anderson at left guard, McGovern, Cybo, and then we moved Edwards to right tackle to finish it on the kneel downs. Because they want to get those 2 guys out of there so they didn't get any fights. Isn't that crazy? Rap, yeah, you can give Rap definitely deserved one. Man, that guy was laying the lumber today. And we missed him. I didn't think we would. We missed him last week.
Absolutely.
He's just solid. He's not super special. The dude's just solid. You know what I mean? And he brings the lumber.
It won't let me do it. I was going to try to do this. It won't let me do it. Oh well. I was going to put a poll out there, but it wouldn't let me do it. Okay. Yeah, that's all right. So guys in the chat, everybody in the chat, if you have a game ball to give, you can give 1 or 2 out, both 1 on offense or 1 on defense or 2 on it don't matter, 2 and 2. But put it in the chat and we'll put it up, okay? So game ball, who you giving it to, offense and defense? Go ahead.
Amy comes in and says Brown got his cereal peed in this morning because he was bent. Brown was like nasty fighting with McDonald from Jump Street.
He's been, I want to say this, Spencer Brown this year I've noticed a little change in him. I don't mind it totally, but don't get
his personal foul penalty was fucking bullshit.
I thought it was too.
That shit happens almost on every play where they dive down on the guy. Why all of a sudden now
he's getting I don't know what it is though. I will say though, I've seen him barking a lot this year. Like Spencer Brown and once again though, you kind of want that though from your offensive lineman. You want them to have that nastiness, like Richie Incognito, right? Richie Incognito was a mean motherfucker, right? Yeah. And he would get those penalties
and
here
Dion
and there.
And Brown have that inside them.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Who else does
smarter about it? Yeah,
Cybo. He's more collected with his.
He is, and I think he's getting better. By the way,
he is getting better and better.
Yeah,
the offensive line showed up today. We were killing them the last few weeks. They showed up today.
Much better. We got some responses here.
Okay.
TJ and Ray Davis.
Who's TJ?
Teron Johnson.
Okay, I like that.
All right. Ray Davis and Davis are okay.
Because he has Rap and Davis.
Okay,
CJ has Rap and Davis.
Okay. I see. Rap and Davis. Okay. Yep. Anybody else?
Rap and Davis.
Am I missing anybody?
Game ball to the Jets. Thank you for all the penalties. They helped us win. Freaking Roy. Refs probably fed up with the talk between the players, and they tried making a statement. And my best guess. Yeah,
I will say
they didn't hit the duel. I thought they were going to throw the flag and do dual offsetting penalties, and they only gave it to Dawkins. Later, they gave it to Kinlaw for saying something to the ref.
You're right. He after the field goal.
Yeah,
after the short field goal.
Yeah.
It was just crazy. The flags tonight were crazy. But I will say this though, I must have messaged Mikey 3 or 4 or 5 times, maybe saying, "Boy, we got away with one there. Boy, we got away. Boy, we got away. Woo!" Like the.
But do you know how many times the Jets fans were probably saying the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm just saying, like the Jets though had some opportunities missed, right? The
Bills just kept shooting themselves in the foot.
And I felt like though every time we shot ourselves in the foot for the most part, the Jets really didn't respond, or they responded with only 3 points. Like, so honestly, like the Jets never truly got real momentum in this game. Like even with the Hail Mary coming out in the
we
second
came
half,
out, went drove right down field, and then we missed the fucking field goal.
Right.
After
they didn't really
the pass interference on Knox.
Yeah. Yep.
Killed that drive.
But I just never felt like they had any, like, I don't know. To me tonight, they just,
I didn't feel like they were going to beat
clunky.
us. I felt like if they were going to win, it's because we were going to make the mistakes and just fumble it away.
Yeah. They were a little clunky with the ball tonight, though. Did they have any turnovers? I don't think they did, right?
Rodgers' interception.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. The last play, right? Teron Johnson. Other than that, though, there's no fumbles, right? No. Except for the Rodgers fumble. That was a non-fumble.
Fumble.
Yeah. And
Allen fumble. Both of them were recovered.
We got it back. Yeah.
Yep. But so the only actual turnover was the interception.
The Rodgers interception, which, by the way, was an unbelievable. I know we said that earlier, but that was an unbelievable play. For one, just the way he flipped over him and held the ball. I thought when they showed the replay, I'm like, oh, watch, it's gonna be it hit the ground or something. Like knowing our luck, right? It like hit the ground. And we're up 4th and 19. Rodgers gonna throw a Hail Mary, win the game, right? It's just our luck. But no, we got it. And then of course I text you, we need this first down. Thank God we got the first down. Michael Thomas is a free agent. The problem is no team's gonna touch him because he has an ongoing legal shit. And I think honestly, it has to be the only reason, because there's a lot of other teams too that are struggling right now that probably need a receiver. And why not sign him to a cheapy veteran deal? It has to be that. They just don't want to touch him.
Did you see Javon Solomon tonight? I didn't see him get a snap.
I did not at all either.
I know Dwayne Smoot played well tonight.
Yeah.
Smoot played real well.
Yeah, Smoot made a great tackle.
In the goal line?
In the goal line.
Him and Gregory Rousseau met at the running back.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I'll tell you what.
They kept calling him Balin Spector.
Yeah, I know. They kept saying Spectre. I'm like, Spectre? He's not in
because he's 54. They didn't realize he was Smoot's 94.
Yeah, I will say this though. Like we held them, like they to a lot of field goals there, right? Or field goal attempts on our side of the ball. Like, so give our defense a little credit, even though that bend don't break is like annoying as fuck at times, right? But we didn't break most of the night. Like we did pretty well when it comes to holding them to 3 or 0, because it was tough kicking field goals with that win. Obviously no excuse. You got to make your field goals, but yeah. I mean, total yards, they had 270. They had
393
total 393 to 359. Yeah. I mean, they
like it was an even game across the board. It was 20 first downs to us to 17 first downs for them.
Yeah.
Third down efficiency, we were 5 for 11. They were 4 for 12. We ran 60 plays. They ran 59 plays. Total yards, 359 to 393 them. Total drives, we each had 9. Total yards per play, 6.7 to 6.
I mean, the second half was a defensive battle. If you look at the way the game went, they scored 3 in the third. We scored 3 in the fourth.
Yeah.
23-20.
Yeah.
I mean, by the first half, I'm thinking, damn, right? We had
this is gonna be a high scoring game.
High scoring game, right? 40 to whatever. No, man. Like, boy, did it cool down.
Yeah.
I will say this too. Coaches adjusted, right? At a halftime. That's gonna be normal. They did their adjustments, and so did we. That touchdown at the end, though, should have never happened in the first half.
Yep.
And I still think if that touchdown don't happen, we wind up winning by 10 points instead of 7.
Yep.
Like we controlled them in the second half. They had no touchdowns, right? So, but
the crazy part, we controlled them on defense. I mean, we gave them yards. They just could never get in the end zone.
Right.
At the end of the day, our offense was stuck in neutral because of our fucking, penalties.
Mm-hmm.
The entire second half, all of a sudden we just started, making mistakes and getting penalized. We had drives in the first half of 70, 80, and 90 yards for touchdowns. In the second half, we couldn't get out of our own way.
Yep. Sam Martin, by the way, did okay today. 3 for 159.
Sam Martin had a really bad punt, but then he hit a big one, a 62-yarder.
Yeah, which we needed.
Which Matt Collins missed the tackle on, which allowed him to bring it back.
8 yards. Right. Thanks, Matt.
More flags than points. Yes, Amy. There was more flags than points.
Yeah, it was craziness. Tonight was crazy.
It was crazy.
Flags.
The Circle Jockey comes in and he's right. The D line played pretty well, all things considered.
The D line, I thought both lines did a much better job tonight. I thought the offensive line,
because they hit their runs on the outside. They didn't hit their runs up the middle.
Yeah. Where, by the way, we tend to do
our safeties. Our safeties don't fill correctly on the outside.
No. Remember I said that 3 weeks ago when we played the Dolphins? When they kept going to the outside, I'm like, why are they stopping going to the outside?
Yeah.
They're killing us all game going to the outside. Yeah. And then remember they stop. I'm like, teams beat us on the outside. They beat us on screen passes the outside all the time. I don't know what it is. We just do not contain the outside. So we got to do better.
Let's bring this back positive because we did get a W. It is going to be Victory Tuesday. We got off the 2-game losing streak. We're now 4-2. Listen, remember going in after we were 3-0. We said if we can be 4-2 after this 3-game stretch, we'll be fine. Guess what? We're 4-2. Do we still see concerns with this team? Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
But we're in a good spot. We're 4-2, 2.5 games up on the division.
And we got some games coming up that are winnable games.
Yeah.
Right. Tennessee
that will be favored in. in.
So we're home finally, by the way, against Tennessee. All right.
Yep,
we're at
Tennessee.
Seattle.
Yep.
We're home against the Dolphins and we're at the Colts. And then we got some rough games.
And then we're at home against the Chiefs. Then we have
home against and then we're home against the 49ers after the bye.
We go 49ers, Rams, Lions. Then we end with the Patriots, Jets, Patriots.
Correct. So
we're in a good spot.
We are, and we're 2.5 games
as bad as we played.
Right, and we're 2.5 games up right now in the division, which is huge, which is massive. 3.5 up on the Dolphins. Like, that's what you want. Like, because now, these are some winnable games coming up. We can maybe, I don't know what the Jets schedule looks like. What's the Jets? Because they're the closest right now to us.
The Jets schedule?
Who are their next opponents? Just curious offhand.
Let me get
because
why go Jets?
We need to start to push
Jets
away here.
Jets go. They've lost. So they went loss, win, loss. But then they're at the Steelers, at the Patriots.
That's tough.
At home
Patriots
against the Texans.
Okay, you never know there.
Yep, at the Cardinals. Home against the Colts. Home against the Seahawks. At the Dolphins. At the Jags. Home against the Rams. At the Bills. Home against the Dolphins.
I'll tell you what, they got a kind of easy schedule. I'm not gonna lie.
But you would also think they got an easy schedule against the Broncos, and they lost to them.
You're right. No, I agree with you. But I'm just saying, I'm going to give Jets a little credit tonight. I thought their offense looked way better tonight than it has been over the last 2 weeks.
Steelers are going to be tough.
Yeah.
The Texans are going to be tough.
I'm just saying, I'm just throwing that out there. I thought their offense, if they could continue to play like they played tonight, not saying they played lights out, but I thought they looked much more efficient.
When they get the Rams, Puka and Couple will be back.
Also, though, I will say this too, though. Rodgers, though, is getting beat up. Like, you could see he was starting to feel.
He was limping coming into this week, and he got smacked around 5 times with 3 sacks. Yeah. And they weren't like, they barely sacked him. Like, they crunched him.
Right. So he is feeling it. Trust me. So I agree, Mikey. And it can happen any Sunday. Same with us. We got to take care of business even against games we should win. But we still need help.
Dallas comes in and says we have no deep ball right now. We don't. We're not throwing the ball deep right now.
No.
Most of those deep balls are Josh making plays broken and hitting guys. He snuck out and hit Samuels for like a 40-yarder, hit Ray Davis for a big one today. But really, no, we're not. We don't have any. We threw one. We threw one to Coleman and it got broken up. It was a nice play by Reed.
It was a hell of a. I was hoping that Bill's Mafia was like, Keon Coleman dropped.
No, that wasn't on Coleman. Reed just had
That
his
was a great
arms
play.
between there and knocked it
Yes.
out. Nothing you can do about that.
And I think he went out of the game too, didn't he?
Yeah, they ended up losing Reed.
Yeah, that was a big loss for them.
They lost
Though it
their
didn't
starting
even-
safety and one of their starting
even
corners.
matter. Like, honestly, though, it didn't even matter. Like, with our receiver, like, you can lose whoever, we're still going to be like subpar wide receiver.
Plus past
play.
bedtime. Roy's dementia's kicking in. You don't drink beer.
Damn, we got 2,000 people in here.
That's
Mikey.
awesome.
Yeah,
I'm glad
awesome.
they're with
Hey,
us.
thank you guys.
Because listen, at the end of the day, I felt like we were negative on this thing, and we're just being honest about where we see our concerns.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
at the end of the day, it's a W. It doesn't matter if you win by 1 point or by 100 points. A win's a win in the NFL. No one's going to remember week 6 and be like, "Oh my God, they barely won." They don't give a crap about that. You know,
Nobody cares. Yeah.
At the end of the day, we were in a tight game last week. We fumbled it away. We are in a tight game this week. We found a way to get the W. That's what matters.
Yeah. You got it. And exactly. And that's why I said you got to woo this team a little bit, because there was some plays in there that you have to be happy for. You have to be happy for the way our offensive line play, their defensive line, Ray Davis. Like I said, there is some bright spots coming out of this game where we can go, you know what? Okay, we know Ray Davis is a capable running back. We know that Josh
Ray Davis
Allen
is more incapable. Ray Davis is going to be our guy that's probably going to
I agree with you, but I'm just
carry
saying,
the mantle once Cook's done.
Yeah, probably so. But either way, I'm just throwing that out there.
Honesty is not negativity.
Yeah. Also, I said it before in pregame too, that Bills Mafia has to be a little excited about this defense finally getting players back. Von Miller will be back soon. You know,
Milano's on the mend.
Milano's towards the and he'll probably be
Ed Oliver will be back pretty soon.
Ed Oliver, yeah. So we're getting guys back.
Cook will be back.
Things, yeah. So and then guys are starting to get healthier, even the guys that are on the field. So our defense, I feel I'm comfortable with. I won't lie.
Having Tron back is huge.
It is. Our offense is the only thing that I think. Like I said, it's really the receiver room. If we're going to be honest, everything else is kind of fine with it. Like, I'm cool with everything else.
It comes down to, can Josh make it work?
Can Josh make it work? And is being willing also to look at what's going on and actually do something about it. And if he's not, he's not. I mean, it is what it is. Then we'll have to play it like it is. Like, then Joe Brady will have to really be creative on play calling. And I guess everybody eats, 15 yards for this guy, 20 yards for this guy, and just have these close games.
I mean, at the end of the day, my concern was because Josh has played so bad against the Jets. What was he going to look like coming off? He was about as efficient as I've seen him. You know what I mean? Today.
He was very smart with the football, I thought.
Very smart. Outside of the one where he tried to make a throw and the ball just came out. That was that's the only one that he came close on.
Yes. And it was odd. He just kind of fell out of his hand. But I agree. Like I thought he was like just patient for most of the time. He made the right decisions, when to run, when not to run. There was a time I was like, oh shit, run. And he wound up making that deep pass to God, who was that?
It was Samuel.
Curtis Samuel. Yes.
Yeah, on the sideline.
At first I was like, just go. Right. Like, because we're so used. And I'm like, because sometimes I hate when he does it because the lane's there and he'll overthrow it, right? Like last week he was doing that, like kind of like hesitating, going, and then he throws it last second. It's way over the guy's head or something like that when he could have ran. This time, man, he was efficient. His accuracy was
19
there
for
tonight.
25.
Yeah, so like that's the Josh we all know, right? That's the Josh we come to love.
Made a few special plays when he had to get the touchdowns.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Outside of that, he was just efficient distributing the ball. Just be special on a few plays, not instead of the whole game.
Exactly.
We leaned on our run game today, and it worked really well. And the guys were making plays for him. Last week they were dropping him. This week they were making plays. I want to hit a couple things. Spen says my thing says 31 watching. You also have to look at Twitter. You don't see Twitter, we see Twitter as well. So when you said there was 2,000 watching, he said mine says only 31. We have a Twitter, Twitch, YouTube.
Yeah, so we have thank you, Spen, for counting our YouTube. 30 people. We have 19. We have 1,950 people watching on Twitter right now, Spen. And yes, we only have whopping 30 people watching. That's why I said earlier for
Go
those
over to
1,900, for the 1,950 people now, I think our most ever. Well, actually, our most ever was with God, what's his name went down? The Cincinnati game, DeMar Hamlin. But but this is our second most. But anyways, that's why I tell you guys, anyone right now that's watching on Twitter, the 1,900 of you, please, if you can, go to YouTube, Mafia Sports Report, and show some support and love to the channel by subscribing. That's all.
Yep. And like the video, that'd be helpful. Spence said the biggest takeaway of it, no injuries on that shitty field for us. We walked out there without any injuries. That is a big win,
dude. Especially that garbage ass stadiums.
Yeah,
which I can't stand. Does X have as many? Hey, Roy, that's how we get. You know how we come on here for the most part. We just chat with you guys and have fun for an hour and 10. We got to get something from Google, from YouTube. So,
Tommy does have to pay for the platform.
Yes, believe it or not, it takes some money for this stuff. So, and we don't bet. By the way, we don't beg for super chats here, like other channels, Roy, that you well know about. We answer all of you guys for the most part.
We try
our fucking best to get the chat involved. Yeah. And we take pride in that. Now, if you guys want to super chat, of course,
the platform is not free.
Yeah,
Tommy pays a fee every month for the platform.
Yes, Ben. No, it's not free.
I am free. I come here for free. I do this for free, and I like to give Tommy shit for free.
Yeah, and
that's my entertainment.
The lighting and the cameras and the microphones.
All that other stuff I just bought for myself because this is fun for me. Come talk Bills football. So, anyways, going back to what I was saying originally is the positives of this is, we're 4-2, 2 games up in the division, got through one of the rough parts of our schedule. 2.5. You're right. We got through one of the rough parts of our schedule. We still have another one coming. But now it's just time to stack some wins. Go out, work on us, stack some wins, and move on.
I 100% agree. Our bye week is still a little whiles away.
Yep, it's after the Chiefs game.
Yep. And listen, here's what we got. The games coming up that are winnable games, we need to make sure we come out with the dub. Because we do, like you said, have some tough opponents down the road. In the back half, and we got to be realistic right now, right? If we have the same roster, especially if we have the same roster on offense, I wouldn't expect us to win both those games, right?
Like, listen,
those games.
At the end of the day, we should beat the Titans at home. Going into Seattle will be tough. Who knows what the Dolphins are going to look like in 3 weeks from now? I pay YouTube for no ads. Yep.
Appreciate you, Amy. And she is a subscriber.
Yep. I pay for no ads too because my daughter loves YouTube.
Dynamic duo cycle. Yes, we are dynamic duo.
The Colts. Well, you don't know what team you're going to get with the Colts, but then we have the Chiefs, a bye, 49ers. They're both at home, but those are going to be tough stretch. And then we go at Rams, at Lions.
The Lions game, by the way, real quick before we move on to Hutchinson. I feel so I didn't
see it, and I'm glad I didn't. I don't need to see it.
It was a freak. I got to be honest with you. It was a freak thing, right? Like, just like normally that kind of injury, Mikey, happens when like a player lands on a player, right? Like that, it's like a funky.
But he went to grab him and he like fell off of him.
No, this was like, think of it like MMA when a fighter goes to kick another guy in the leg, and the leg snaps back.
I've seen those ones snap.
So it basically was his leg whipped into his own player who was coming towards him, and it just snapped across his leg. I know it's graphic, but it's just the reality of football. Football is a dangerous sport, and it's a brutal sport. But anyways, thoughts and prayers to him, because I live in Michigan. I feel bad for them. That's a huge loss for the Detroit Lions. And he was having a great year. So, man, it just sucks. I hate seeing that, man. So thoughts and prayers for him, man, and the Lions organization, because
Yeah.
we've had some injuries here that obviously everyone's well aware
Von
of.
Miller when he tore his ACL, like it didn't look like it was a real bad injury. It was just like a weird roll up.
Yeah.
Then we had the DeMar thing, and some of those. Milano's was pretty gross.
Oh, and
last year
was bad. Yeah, dude.
Spin comes in and says anything that should happen for the Bills worries the most. This game is an example. Should have been an easy win, but the Bills being the Bills made it a nail biter until the end. Listen, it was some selfish play offensively from our tackles that kept putting our offense in a bind. Undisciplined wide receivers, kept pushing it, and then Bass sucking.
But should it have been an easy win? I kind of disagree with that.
When we went up 10 before the Hail Mary, that shouldn't have happened. And coming out of that, we should have been able to capitalize. It should have been a more comfortable win. Easy, no.
Yes, I'm with you.
Should have been a more comfortable win.
That is exactly.
But
that's where I was.
Give the Jets some freaking credit. They were feisty. Their head coach got canned. They got a new offensive coordinator, a new head coach. Like, give them some credit. Those guys came out ready to play.
They want to win for the new coach. Like, I get that whole thing. You know how that is.
They say you get a head coach bump in the first game.
But you know what? I don't buy that shit. Like, I get it. Like, oh, you got to win for the new coach. I understand that, and I'm sure players
happens all the time.
I get it.
The stats say it.
I get it. I don't. Your team's gonna play. You're gonna play, right? You're gonna play hard. You're gonna play hard, regardless of your old coach, new coach. The Jets have a good team. Like, I just don't think they have it. For some reason, they haven't put it together yet. Like, offensively, they have fucking weapons. They have more weapons than us on offense.
Yeah,
they do. Okay. And their defense is better than ours. Let's be real. They have
better playmakers.
Absolutely. They're a top 5 defense. We're not a top 5 defense. No. They have really, really good defense. Offensively, they have a Hall of Fame quarterback. Let's be real. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
He's older.
They have a great receiver in Wilson. Right? Lazard, I mean, he was
better than a lot of our guys.
Jerry Rice tonight. Tonight we made him look like
they have Conklin. They have 2 elite running backs. Like, I love Braylon Allen.
Yeah, and then they have Breece Hall, who also catch out the backfield, who is basically a running back / receiver for as good as he is out the backfield.
Their offensive line just isn't gelled yet.
Their offensive line is a problem, right? Yeah. That I agree with. But other than that, though, if you look at the if you look at the players,
you look at the roster on paper. I agree with you on that. The roster on paper, they have better. They're dysfunctional though there, and they have been for years as an organization.
It's the same old Jets,
like the Bills. The Bills were that way for a long time. We were just dysfunctional as an organization. We had some really good teams during those drought years, but we were just dysfunctional and couldn't figure it out.
I agree. Look at the Browns, right? They always say that too. Same old Browns. The Browns on paper, they got really good. They got some good players. Right?
That got defense should be elite,
dude. Right? I mean, so listen, man. Some teams they just can't put it together. They have either bad luck, bad coaching, bad GM, or they just can't put it all together. That's why I give our team a little bit of credit. Even though I still am not sold on McDermott as head coach, but for somehow, some way, we wind up putting it together, making it work. But that's my point, Mikey. We got to do better.
Ben comes in and says the interim coaches were like 16 for 36 for the first game coaching. I think the stats are a little bit different than that. Jeff Saturday won his. Can't remember anyone else. Antonio Pierce won his.
Pierce did.
Antonio Pierce won his.
The Raiders, Yep.
The Raiders won before that. When Gruden got fired, he won his. Like, you see a lot of those guys win.
Sure, there is. I get it, but I just don't. For me, listen, man. I don't. You lose to a team. I'm just saying, if you lose to a team, if you're a good team, and you lose to a team that just fired their head coach, clearly there's problems there, right? Or they wanted to fire them. Shouldn't be losing to that. I don't care. Like, unless you're a bad team yourself, right? But if you're a good to decent team and you're going against a team that's struggling and fired their head coach, I don't give a shit if they just promoted a new guy. Like, you got to win that game.
Yep. Where is it? How bad do you think the Browns miss Baker right now? Oh my God.
Yeah,
man, did they bet on the wrong horse there?
Yeah, I agree. But look,
I think Baker had to go through what he went through in order to be the player he is today.
I think he's definitely mature, but I also think there's games where he's bad. There is games like he lost 2 weeks ago. I think it was, or a week ago. I forget what game it was, and he looked terrible. Like he was making some awful throws. So I'm just saying, like, but I think the change for him, change of scenery, was a blessing and for him. Like that, like he needed that because Cleveland was going to just continue to get him in the dirt, right? Like he wasn't going to go anywhere with that organization. So same with Sam Darnold, by the way. Yeah, Sam Darnold needed a change of scenery. Yeah, he got one in Carolina, but I think now in Minnesota, where he has some playmakers, he still makes some mistakes here and there.
Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield were on that team together.
They were with Carolina. I know. I remember. And neither one of them. But Carolina is another team that's a hot mess. So
yeah,
they can't get it right.
Dysfunctional
owner, right? So.
Keeps firing everybody, and they can't get it right. And you know who else is another one like that? The Jags.
You're right.
Because here's the deal: the Jags had a chance to get Hutchinson, and they took Trayvon Walker over him. Like, what are you doing? Hutchinson was the clear-cut number 1 pick that year.
Yeah, I have no idea. Anything else before we wrap up?
I wanted to shout out Ray Davis, who got to go to the booth tonight after the game.
Oh, nice! Got
to spend some time with Scott, SVP.
Yeah, we're missing all that. We're gonna watch all that when we get out of here.
Yes, we are.
But we wanted to talk to to talk to Bills Mafia.
I wanted to get my frustrations out and then talk about the positives.
Yeah, the frustrations.
Because I told you, I texted you in the game, win or lose this game, there's some clear problems, and our head coach is one of them.
Yeah, I agree, and he showed it tonight once again. Like the reasons why we continue to go, he's a problem. He's a problem. He's a problem. Because he puts his team in some very bad circumstances in games, or he costs
his decision making is just horrible.
He cost this team a lot of wins in the past, and
including the playoffs,
and continues to do the same boneheaded mistakes. Which, like, look, man, if this was year 2 even of McDermott, I'd be like, all right, you know what? He's new coach. He's just going through
year 8, man.
Bro. Year fucking 8, bro. Like, you're still doing the same bullshit.
I was on Twitter just checking something at halftime, and it said Sean McDermott does not deserve Josh Allen. Sean McDermott deserves to be in Jacksonville or in Tennessee with Will Levis or Trevor Lawrence. That's the type of quarterback he deserves with these boneheaded decision making.
Yeah, I agree. I'm totally with you. Like, how many times are the Buffalo Bills going to give up a Hail Mary?
Like, why the hell are you rushing 2 and playing guys on the sidelines?
I have no idea.
Wide open in the middle. Like, what the hell?
And costly timeouts for
he did that same shit in the 13 seconds. Right. Played the sidelines, and they threw it right up the middle because they had 3 timeouts.
Right.
Same shit last week. Just run the ball, and they run out of time taking into overtime. No, we want to throw the ball 3 fucking times.
And how many times? Like, honestly, guys, like, and I'm not trying to be mean to him, but how many times has Sean McDermott called a timeout, either on defense or offense, through the course of the time he's been here as our head coach, and we come out and we don't execute?
Right?
How many times?
The last 2 Hail Marys that were caught against us, we called timeout right before the play.
Right.
Both of them.
So you would think, and by the way, guys,
what about the 4th down?
Yeah, I'm all for
Minnesota.
And I'm all for a timeout, right? Like, I am all for it because I'm like, you know what? Okay, you're seeing how they're lining up. Now you can adjust. And what does he do? He goes out there and does the same bullshit. He calls the same defensive play, still rushing 2. Like, you had time right there.
He says his response was, you got to knock it down.
Oh,
put your guys in position.
Really?
How about you not give Aaron Rodgers 100 years to throw that ball?
Right. A perfectly thrown spiral with nobody on him, around him.
It hit his freaking receiver in the chest. Right. It was like playing catch.
Right. Put some kind of pressure,
But anyway, we're going negative again, Tommy. Let's end this on a positive.
I'm sorry.
We are 4-2.
He does this to us.
Yes. We are 4-2. 2.5 game lead in the division.
Yes.
It's just work on our areas that we need to get better in. Hopefully McDermott will look at the tape and say, okay, maybe we need to put Bishop back there over Hamlin. And Bean will say we need to upgrade our wide receiver.
Yeah.
If they did those two things, I would feel so much better about this team.
I agree. If McBean can get away, take a detour off Safe Street, right? Get off Safe Street just for a little bit and actually do some different things, right? Because if you continue to drive on Safe Street, Mikey, well, nothing's going to change, right? You're going to play it safe, right? You're
going back down that hole, Tommy. We're ending on positive.
I'm sorry. I'm just
saying. We're ending on positives, Tommy.
Oh, you're right. Let me know.
You're going down the hole again. 80.
Okay. You know what? Woo! We're 4-2. We are 2.5 games up, and I am proud of the way we ended the game tonight on offense and defense. We made some really good plays to end the seal of that game. So kudos to the boys for going out there and they were in a dogfight,
taking care of business at the end. And
they were in a dogfight, and they won the dogfight. They came out the winner. So. Yes. So, and by the way, our Tuesdays are going to be great. Our week is going to be great now. Finally.
Yes, it is.
It's been 2 weeks. We haven't had a great week.
Victory Tuesday. So Friday, Friday we will be back on and we will do our recap and give our awards and the good, bad, and ugly. And then we will go into we'll preview next week's game. So Tommy, enjoy your Victory Tuesday, brother.
Oh, I will. And just a heads up, Wednesday is Mafia Talk with Jay and Big Cuz. They'll be recapping this game and previewing next weekend's game as well. And then Thursday is Mafia Means Family podcast. And then Friday at 9, me and Mikey. Saturday at 2 is Fantasy Kingdom, Fantasy Football Talk with Mikey and Howie.
Buddy.
And 4 o'clock is AFC Shakedown. But I don't even have to tell you all that. If you just simply subscribe and hit the notification bell, you'll know that we're live. So, guys, expect some videos out tomorrow from me on this game. And Bills Mafia, we love you. And as always, go Bills. We're out of here.
Go Bills.
Peace.